Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 5 of Europa Universalis IV as Japan. Out of all of the games that I have owned and have played over the years, this is definitely one of the most difficult games to consistently pronounce correctly, but I shall endeavour to do so. Now, I'm currently at war with Shimazu down here for Satsuma. We're going to take this province. Now, I did consider going and declaring war for Okinawa. We are going to do that because we do have a mission for it. One thing we do have to be very careful with is if we start to lose a lot of our troops, we could end up in a position where one of the daimyos declares war on us because we are weak. But I think we will be okay as long as we don't screw this up terribly. So I'm going to go and take the trade fleet. The trade fleet conveniently is in the right area. I'm going to go and put as many men onto this transport as I can. Bring the transport out into this sea. Now, unfortunately, yep, the general has gone. I was just going to say, sometimes this game's a real pain in the arse and doesn't always take the right troops. What composition do we have? You have taken some of the cavalry. I hope you haven't taken most of the cavalry. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and take these transports and just drop those troops back off because I don't trust the game for giving me the right composition. I can take eight men. So what we want to do is he has 6, so we want to match his front line and be a little bit wider. So what we want to have is we want all of the ones that are, well, it's just because they've been on the boat, that's why they've lost some men. So we want to have sort of 6 and 2 like that. So select this unit. If we select the other unit and just move you to the capital, yep, you don't have the general. You get on the boat, you move out to sea. Just keeping my eye on this one down here. You guys can all group up for now. We can instantly go ahead, I think, and declare war down here. I don't think there's any negative to doing it. Let's go and declare war. They don't have any allies. Says we've got troops black flagged. This must be something they've changed. There was a time where if you put troops on a boat, they would become, they would be immune to the black flagging, which is very annoying because it seems like that has now changed. But there we go, problem solved. So let's get you guys out, and we're going to have to do a naval landing. A naval landing isn't the best thing to do. Now, they do have ships. Now, their ships seem to be docked. They've only got 1 galley and 3 transports, so we're not too bothered about that. We are going to drop off our troops. Now, they have a 1-1 general. We have a general of some sort. We have a 1-2-2 general, so we've actually got a slightly better general. We will still get the major landing penalty, but we can just go and pick some more troops up if it goes terribly south. So yeah, we have picked up that -2 crossing penalty. Of course, we're getting terrible rolls, because that's the way the game works. And we have actually won that battle. Now, unfortunately for them, that's their only province. They've got nowhere else to retreat to, so they instantly get squished. You are offering me peace, and our truce has run out with this guy as well. Not sure if we actually have a direct CB against him. Yeah, and they're currently in our war anyway, because we're at war and he is one of my vassals, so I wouldn't actually have a direct CB against him. That's fine. That doesn't matter too much. We just want to go ahead and siege this out. We're not over our limit. There we go. That war has ended. So we want to take your province. We want to take all of that lovely money you've been saving up. Thank you very much. So we now have some more land. Again, increase autonomy, leave the guys there, and make it into a core. Satsuma has 0.2% unrest. That will burn down quite quickly as soon as the Yeah, that'll burn down quite quickly as soon as the overextension starts to go away and the separatism, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Unfortunately, we are taking a little bit of attrition down here, but that's not too much to worry about. We'll just wait until we've managed to take this. We'll take it from them. We'll leave just enough men behind to make sure that we don't have too much of a problem with rebellions. And then we'll start thinking about bringing everybody home. We can now actually, if we wanted to, start to fabricate claims. We'll lose a little bit of money. We don't mind. Why are we losing so much money? Oh, because we're reinforcing. That's fine. So what we could do, if we wanted to here, is we could go and start fabricating claims against Korea. I believe we should be doing that. Covert actions, fabricate claims. Actually, quite a lot of provinces that we could go and fabricate on. So let's start doing it. We actually have... Oh, no, it's not in our province. So I'm not too worried about that. It's only a peasant revolt. I could go in there and help. But I'm happy if peasants are weakening down my vassals. I don't want them to be weakening down my armies. I don't have the men to spare, to be honest. So we're up to 35% here. I'm guessing it'll only be another tick or two before this war is over. And like I said, we're losing money just because we're reinforcing troops at the moment. Yeah, army maintenance is our highest outgoing. We are at the force limit, but we're not over, so we don't mind that too much. 49%. Come on, let us have a tick. Don't really necessarily want to get involved in the naval battle. We already have 100% here. So, we don't have a diplomat, of course, because we are stupidly now fabricating a claim. Hadn't thought about that. We can easily sink their ships, though. I'll probably take little to no damage. So, we'll sink their navy. Obviously, we're not taking attrition anymore because the land is occupied. There's no hostile ships anymore, so what we're going to do is we're going to break off the lights, and these guys are going to go back to protecting trade in Nippon. So that should help offset some of the issue with cost. It won't take an awfully long time to do that fabrication, so as soon as he's finished, we will... what's going to happen if those peasants take that over? Probably not an awful lot. Probably certainly nothing that I care about anyway. Now, also when we diplo-annex the daimyos that we're currently working on, we need to have a look and see what ships they've got. Heavies we probably won't be able to afford to keep. Galleys I'm not all that bothered about. The important ones are light ships for trade, and of course we will want to start getting some transports now, because if we're going to start fighting Korea, we're going to need transports for that. So we're back to making money again now. We've got some decent money in the treasury. We still can't afford more than a single advisor at the moment, which is a real pain, but we are actually making some monarch points right now. We are going to be spending some admin points shortly, of course, because we'll be annexing this country here. Almost 70% of the way through of that annexation. That's fine. Of course, we've also still got the modifier of having that absent merchant, I think. Where's that gone? No, we've just got absolutely zero trade power wherever you're up there. Yeah, we've got zero trade power. It says... I don't know, it says 0.96 is being forwarded. But then there it says 0.00. It's not showing that absent merchant modifier, so not too sure what's going on with that. This is the problem, unfortunately, with EU4. Not all of the mechanics are quite as transparent as you'd like them to be. 95, 96% of the way through that fabrication. So far as well, haven't even been caught. Not that it matters, because, I mean, who are we going to get aggressive expansion with that we care about? So there we go, we have a CB. We can now... Well, we need to wait for the diplomat to get home, I suppose. There we go. So now we can go and enforce our demands over here. We'll have your province, thank you very much. It's only worth 7% war score. How much money do you have? 81 ducats, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and send demands. Yoink, mine. And we get Inspiring Victory, so it increases our manpower recovery and our speed. So, you are the wrong religion, which is a little bit of a pain in the arse. We are going to need to core you, so let's go ahead and do that. We are going to increase the autonomy. Now, the problem that we're going to have down here is because it's the wrong religion, it does have quite a high chance of rebellion. So I think I'm going to leave these guys down here for now. I will get the transports to dock up. I think. Transports are refusing to dock. Can they not dock because it isn't cored? No, now they can dock. That was weird. So, new missions. We can convert Okinawa to Shinto. Well, that is definitely one of the things that we want to do. How many provinces do we currently own? Again, clicking on the wrong button. 12 provinces, we're getting there. Excuse me, just getting a little bit of a tickle in my throat there. So, Satsuma has now been cored. Let's go ahead and have a look, see if there's any unrest. Minus 1.22, I'm only getting 7.5 from the friendly troops. So you guys can go back home. Force limit is still fine. We may well have to leave these guys down here while we do the religious conversion as well. Now we are coring. Because we only have 5% overextension. It's nothing at all. So that'll be done by March 1461. So less than a year away. Are we still working on these annexations? Why is that? Oh, Liberty Desire. Do these guys... I've suddenly gained loads of extra Liberty Desire with these guys that I hadn't noticed, and that's the annoying thing. Obviously, this doesn't let you know that another nation has high Liberty Desire. So that's quite annoying. We can enable scutage on them. What could we do to reduce their Liberty Desire? Placate local rulers. I mean, we could just try and suck up to them a little bit. You have plus 200 relations with us, though. So why do you have so much Liberty Desire? Because they have better Diplotech than me, mainly. My diplomatic reputation is helping. Well, it's always nasty to lose prestige, but we do need to try and integrate these guys. So let's go ahead and use the placate local rulers. So we will take a prestige drop. We'll do it on both of them. But at least their annexation will now continue. I hadn't noticed that. It should have been done years ago. And I hadn't even noticed the numbers weren't going up. That's really bad on my part. It's so easy to get sidetracked and not see something that is going on. While we're not doing an awful lot with our leaders, we can also go ahead and get a royal marriage here as well. Just anything that's going to increase relations. We could do the same down here as well. Hopefully all things like this will decrease their Liberty Desire. There we go. Uchi's now down to 25. Asugi's still at 42. We probably didn't even have to do that. Uchi has declared war on Yamana, which is this guy down here. I don't mind that too much, because if they take that province over, it'll still become mine as part of the Diplo annexation. So we'll let them do that, that's fine. Can't believe I hadn't actually noticed that. This is the problem. If you dismiss the pop-up without dealing with the issue... Because I originally got that pop-up when Imagawa, who are these guys, started to get Liberty Desire. Now, it doesn't matter, so I ignored it. But if I'd have right-clicked this to make it go away, it would stop appearing. So it wouldn't have even come up when these guys reach high Liberty Desire. And because the icon was already there, I just ignored it. And didn't realise that 2 more of my daimyos had high liberty desire. 25 Diplo for mercantilism. Yeah, I guess we'll keep doing that. What are we making now, actually? 0.91. It's not great, but I mean, look, we've still got 240 ducats in the kitty there. Our force limit has just gone up by 1. Now, I'm not going to build up to that force limit because we're about to annex 2 more vassals. We are still annexing, which is good. So what's going on down here? We do still have a bit of unrest. It is ticking away slowly. I don't think we have any problems with factions. What's just happened there? Still you guys. Looks like they dropped a little bit and then raised a little bit again, so that's fine. So as soon as we finish doing the coring down here, we can start doing the religious conversion. We actually have enough money in the bank now to actually start building improvements. It might actually be worth picking up advisors, though. Not sure any of them are really going to be worth the money right now. And to be fair, if we did pick up an advisor, we don't have enough money coming in monthly to actually pay the monthly salary. But anyway, Okinawa is now part of our territory. So, we're going to start doing the conversion. Missionary strength is 3.5%, so it's not terrible. Unfortunately, that does bump the unrest up again, but I think we'll be fine. August 1463, so 2.5 years for that religious conversion. It could be faster. Most of Japan is now quite stable. Once we've managed to Diplo, annex Asugi and Uchi, and I'm assuming that Uchi are going to take the province of Harima, then that only leaves us with Hatakeyama and Imagawa to deal with. And they're just like 1 province minus. So once we've got rid of those, we're golden. Now, is anybody else in that war? I'm assuming probably not. And if that's the case, you should peace out pretty quickly. I think the AI tends to wait until the month is over and to do its logic check, but no, it still hasn't done that yet. In the old ledger, let's go and have a look. Relations, current wars. A lot of wars going on in the world right now. Would you look at that? Aragonese conquest of Corsica. Well, that's hardly news, is it? And the Bavarian succession wars going on. Where's our little war down here? So, Uchi is at war with Yamana and Imagawa. So, Uchi aren't going to win this war unless they march their troops over there and go and beat this army up as well. They should be able to come through my territory. I'm not sure why they're just sitting there. Now, if that annexation goes through and they're still at war, I'll probably automatically get dragged into that war myself. Which wouldn't be terrible, because it means I could just go stomp over here and kill these guys. Now, that unrest is still pretty heavy. I mean, the active missionary alone is giving +6. Plus the religious unity problem. So once we get rid of the religion, we'll be 6.12% into the good. And there's obviously the intolerance as well. So once the intolerance goes away, that should also sort that out. Again, that's not in our province. Now, this is actually quite interesting. I mean, first of all, that happened in the hills, and Asugi was the defender. Yeah, oddly enough, the Pretender Rebels are doing quite well. They must have got some good rolls there. People have got into reinforce. However, I did notice that one of the armies that went into reinforce was Imagawa's army. And I think Imagawa's army mostly got wrecked. So, will Uchi go and siege Imagawa? No, because somehow there were some Yamanan troops. I think those Yamanan troops were actually hiding under the Imagawan stack. So I'm guessing that Uchi's going to go and kill those. They can't even de-siege. They don't have enough men. So this is most likely going to be... Well, probably won't be a stat wipe. It was actually a stat wipe. Normally if it's 10 to 1 odds, it's a guaranteed stat wipe. Imagawa only have a single infantry regiment. And they're also 100% sieged by Uchi. I cannot understand why Uchi aren't just marching over here. And where did your regiment just go? Did you just put it on a boat, or did you move it somewhere? Yeah, not too sure what he just did with that regiment. I've got a feeling now that he's going to go and siege that out. Which would make sense, because that war would be over, hopefully nice and quickly. We are 91.5% of the way through that Diplo annexation. How are things going on down here? Down to 9.8%. Autonomy's still dropping, but separatism's going down. As soon as we get rid of this intolerance and the active missionary, we'll be fine here, and then we can move away. So there's often... how much trade power do we actually have in the Nippon node? 21%. I think the mission that you get is for... I can't remember if it's 40% or 50%. I think it might be over 50%, but I haven't seen that mission pop up in a while. Yep, we're sieging down over here now. So I'll just let those guys carry on. Just keeping an eye on the old force limits. Still slightly over on the naval, but that's fine. Obviously, we're not gaining quite as much Diplo power now, because we are integrating two rather large vassals at the same time. We are slightly over the 20-minute mark, but again, last video of the week, so I usually let the last one roll on a little bit longer, and we're so close now to getting this annexed vassal. Lose 10 prestige or lose a stability. I'll just take the prestige hit. I mean, I'd like to keep the prestige, but I guess I do have the admin points to bump the stability up. And in fact, I could go ahead and get some positive stability. There's nothing to stop me actually spending a little bit of admin power. It would be nice to start getting the next level of tech, though. Most of the other nations have already teched up to level 4. So I don't really want to spend points if I can avoid spending points. So they did take Harima, but they didn't take Imagawa. That is fine. We're very, 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 very close now to this annexation over here. In fact, it's at 100%. So at the end of February, that will be done. I think we've still only got the provincial unrest in Okinawa. Yep, it's the only province where it's likely to pop. So there's the end of February. Now, this is the problem that you have when you are playing as Japan and trying to do these Diplo annexations. You now get this diplomatic reputation -3, which now means that my annexation of the other country will pretty much come to a halt. What I should have done, and I stupidly forgot, is not dismiss that window, because the penalty doesn't actually enforce until you hit the button. Now, it does give us some more prestige. It also puts us over our force limit by 5. That's because of these guys here. And it's probably put us quite a bit over our naval limit as well. We have a galley that we're not bothered about. So let's go ahead and get rid of the galley. We'll probably keep the transports. Let's bring them all down over here. Do we have any other navies? There's another little trade fleet. Oh no, that's... where's the trade fleet? There's your little trade fleet there. And you can also go and join Nippon. So that's put us below our force limit. We are slightly over the naval force limit, which I'm not terribly concerned about. We do have the option now to hit the button and form Japan, but I don't want to do that yet because there's still more stuff that we can take. More specifically, we'd like to be able to integrate Uchi first. And as I've said, the problem we have with that right now is that we have this negative diplomatic reputation. Now, luckily, we do have decently high legitimacy, which is bringing it back up a little bit. We are still integrating, which is good. It's still costing us some diplomatic power, so we are still integrating. But unfortunately, at the current speed, it's actually going to take us until October 1471, which is another 8 years, 8.5 years from now. It's very, very tempting at this point just to go, do you know what, screw it, and just hit the button. But then we'd have to go and take over these guys militaristically, and we'd have to core all of these provinces ourselves, which we don't really want to do. We've still got these two guys to take out. Now, if they end up going to war with one another, which I guess they could do, they don't actually have any CBs against each other. So, these guys will probably be left over once we... because we're not going to waste time integrating them, it'll take too long. And as they don't have any CBs left to fight each other, and they're never going to get up to 10 provinces, which means they're not going to be able to... I'm not going to get the CB against them. The only thing I can really do is try and diplomatically annex Uchi. Once Uchi has been annexed, then we can try and... we'll hit the button and just take these guys over. So we've got some additional missionary strength, which is great. We don't need it anymore. Improve our prestige. Well, it's the only mission we've got. So we'll go ahead and take it. Now, how much money are we making? We're actually making 1.46 ducats a month, which technically is enough to hire another advisor. Unfortunately, none of the Diplo advisors we've got are really any use, so we'll ignore that for now. We don't really need missionary strength. What about military? Again, there's only one level 1 advisor. We definitely cannot afford a level 2. Manpower modifier isn't going to be all that useful for us. Now, certainly it would be nice to get the next level of military tech. There's no denying it. But I think we just have to wait. I don't think we're in a position where we are significantly threatened by anybody. In 3 years' time, in less than 3 years' time, 2.5 years' time, we can change our national focus. So what we'll probably do is change our focus away from... admin, just so that we get a bit more of an even spread. Our air, remember, is quite good. Our air is a 236, so we don't want to military focus. But yeah, I mean, our air actually has 11 points, whereas our current ruler only has 5. So as far as I'm concerned, now that we have an heir who's of legal age, so we don't have to worry about a regency council. The only problem we've got, of course, with the Shogun dying is that we lose stability, but we can afford to buy that back up. So it would be quite nice, possibly, if our ruler died and our heir took over, because we'd gain a lot more points that way. Our general has died, which is disappointing. We don't really need him at the moment, so I'm not going to bother... I'm not going to bother hiring a new one, because he might die before we go to war again, so it's a waste of time. Let's just have a quick look down here. If you let me click on the Sodding Province. We have 0 unrest, minus 5.14%. Troops are only giving us +2. So you guys get your ass back on the boat, and these boats are going to go and drop you off over here. So we are still annexing. Slowly. We're going to ignore that decision for now. We do want to take it. We just don't want to take it yet. Is that annexation still going on? It is. It's just going on slowly. So we've dropped off our troops. Let's go ahead and put you in the capital. We can group you up. Just one final check. Yep, we're still below the force limit. But as we are now up to nearly the 30-minute mark, that is a very good place to end this video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you were still enjoying EU4 as Japan. I think we've done quite well, considering we are less than 20 years from the start of the game. We already have enough provinces to pop the button and form Japan. And if it wasn't for me making a bit of a balls up and not keeping my eye on the Liberty Desire, we could have probably already had Uchi integrated by now. But that's not the end of the world. You know, we will still get them in a few years' time, and that basically just leaves us with these two minor provinces. In the meantime, what we could do is we could go up here and start fabricating on Ainu and taking some of this land for ourselves, which is probably what we will start doing in the next video. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye for now.